May 3rd. That is a long time. Yeah, well, time to catch up. Anyway, hey yeah people, long overdue episode 6 is here. This episode happened about 6 months ago from the date of publishing, which is in November 2022. So first coming from where we left off, we went straight into grinding, this time in Turos, still finding our artifacts and lightstones you see. We did about 2 hours of Turos, and then we also did a 200% BSR for our Awakened Corsair, which was kinda nice. Anyway, the net income here was about 230 mil, quite puny actually. We made an order for a PEN Blackstar Petrarca. You will soon see where I'm going with this, but we also went for a bit of orcs afterwards, but soon we had to go to Thornwood to get some EXP as we were quite close to 86%, yeah? We did roughly 2 hours here, and we can see that our gear score 6 months ago was roughly around 674. Anyway, we did more Thornwood before going to Turos with Mage, and then we skinned some chickens, though we didn't exactly get the pot piece we were after. We also went to do more Thornwood the next day and went for a bit of battle arena with Sugi, who was trying out Guardian. We were still playing Corsair with DR by the way, and it was a pretty nice dueling experience I think. Anyway, Siege Day came and somehow I was in the Flags team. Yeah, Flags, me. We ran around randomly doing nothing. We took down a few snipes before leaving the Flags platoon, and then we went back to Fort Defense. Skype, our usual shotcaller, wasn't there that day, so we dodged some attacks on the water, but ultimately the rumor penetrated our defenses and we had a nice full-on experience of PA's excellent camera design. In any case, we had a terrible time trying to climb our fences. The next day we did more orcs as we tried to get more money to buy Caphras so that we can actually go and do gyfin underground and finally escape the hellscape that is orcs. We did the new 5-man pillar face scrolls, and let me tell ya, you might as well do the original level 1s instead. The level 5s take way too long. We then did more Thornwood as we approached the 90% mark to level 64. The 400% EXP Lightstone combo was very helpful. We tried a bit of gyfin underground at night actually, still with our C9 gear, but clearly I'm too undergeared for that place, so we had to go. We tried again the next day during the day this time with some calcs and some drops, along with a number of EXP buffs as we are less than 10% to level 64. To be honest, at that point in time during the stream, it was still quite the hairy experience as I was only C9 back then and running Nuver in gyfin's law. It was doable for sure in a day where I had less chances of dying. We played rather cautiously as we successfully did an hour of gyfins. I think it was at this point in time that we contemplated switching to evasion, but then that evasion swap will actually come later, not now. In any case, we did more gyfins the next few days as the EXP there was quite insane with the 400% EXP buffs from the lightstones. We approached and bypassed 25% to 64 with just a little bit more to go. This place was still quite nerve-wracking I think to be grinding with in C9 DR, and even back then C9 DR was basically a gillet. Yeah, anyway, we continued our level 64 grind and we were oh so close to it, and soon we reached it. Our first level 64 character after about a year of playing, as our little chat and guildies gave some nice congrats in the chat, though at this point we were quite familiar with gyfin underground and thus we took a bit of time to make a little guide for gyfin. I heard this guide was pretty good, but who knows. Anyway, to celebrate we did a bit of BA with our then newly re-rolled mage who was on his Sork. This time it was the first time I actually fought a Sork, like actually fights and not die immediately, so that was good. Anyway, Siege came again, and if I don't remember wrongly, this was the big anti-Exile Alliance siege before all the drama came about. Our shotcaller was actually present this time, and also it was during this siege that our guildie Hang got a pen Sissos all of a sudden, so congrats to that. Although he did eventually sell that necklace and then he had to remake another Sissos I believe, which of course turned out to be quite a waste of time. In any case, we tried to join the fight by making a big ball.
So we can make a big ball. Big balls.
But as there were too many allies and too many participants running about, our movement was quite slow. We did manage to engage finally, but it was quite the failed push. Later on, we shifted our focus to attacking weebs instead, which were the allies at the time, but soon we got wiped. We also got into a close quarters fight, something our class was horrendously bad at due to the crappy camera angles that Per Abyss has decided to make. In any case, we later regrouped outside of the castle, but we had to regroup at fort again instead, as our shotcaller dies with some annoying last words.
Oh shit, I got killed! No!
We later moved on to attacking Weep's main base instead, and we had to do multiple waves, like human waves, but to be honest, we weren't doing a whole lot, even back then. The then Exile Alliance soon fell and we regressed back into being Snipe Guild Hunters. What a throwback. Anyhow, we took an alliance photo for a bit, and this was about it for this one. Although this was not quite the end of that particular stream. If you guys recall, Kelvin Ball happened back then, and we had a J-Hammer. Two actually, so you know what that means, right? We picked our tap location of choice, and we first chose a PEN Blackstar Great Bow. Which didn't go, but that was fine, it was meant to be a raw tap anyway. And then the actual tap. Yeah, easy. Now we are in the same bracket as our main hand. Oh yeah, no need to C20 or Dandy anymore. Anyway, that's the end of this little episode. We actually were still preparing for Nebraska and Eternal Winter, if you guys still remember that place. Though that's for the next episode. Speaking of which, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and goodbye.